Hey! You are listening to the Grumpy Guy BJJ Podcast.
Hey, what's up, guys? Got to take care of a few things before we jump into this week's episode. First, our Ramping Isometrics for BJJ program. It is a 12-week program, all laid out for you. It's going to help you build strength and cardio in the fastest, safest, and most convenient way possible. This is how James and I have been training for the past year, and we love it. So we put this program together so you can just follow along, and we are certain you will see and feel the benefits that we do. It's only $15. Just go to grumpyguybjj.com, click the drop-down menu in the upper right-hand corner, and you'll find it. Next, R3. This is our K2 D3 supplement. It is a combination of those two vitamins, D3 and K2. These are two vitamins that James and I have been taking for a long time that really help us recover from hard training sessions. And for only $15 with free shipping, you get a whole month's supply. I was going to pull up some studies explaining the benefits of D3 and K2, but I'm not going to insult your intelligence and pretend to be a fucking scientist. I take it. It helps me recover. That's it. So for $15, check it out. And last but certainly not least, we have partnered up with Jiu-Jitsu.com. They have a ton of awesome BJJ instructionals, and they have hooked us up with a discount code for our listeners. It's Grumpy10. So what you got to do is you go to Jiu-Jitsu.com, which is DIGITSU.com. Find the instructionals you want, throw them in a shopping cart. In the little discount code box, you type in Grumpy10, which is just GRUMPY and the number 10, 10. That's it, no spaces. Boom, you get 10% off. You're up and running. They got a nice app you can download on your phone. That way you can take your instructionals right to the gym with you, watch the technique, drill it. It's a pretty sweet setup. So once again, DIGITSU.com. Discount code Grumpy10, GRUMPY10. Simple as that. To find all this stuff I just got done talking about, go to our website, grumpyguybjj.com. Click the drop-down menu in the upper right-hand corner. There, you'll subscribe to our newsletter for podcast updates. You'll find links for the Ramping Isos program, the R3 Recovery Supplement, and then under the Programs and Products tab, you'll find a link to Jiu-Jitsu.com. And let's be honest, if you guys can't figure out how to navigate a website by now, there's nothing I can do to help you. So quit fucking around, check it out, train hard, and let's get into this week's episode. 3 and
boom!
Here we are again.
101, maybe
Episode
100. We're not really sure.
In there. It's
in the
100, 101, or 102.
Exactly.
I can't remember which way it went.
What are numbers anyways but a fucking
social
human construct.
Bullshit construct.
Exactly. So, here we are, fired up, fresh off the Wilson Kratom bar. Have you Kratom? Have you gotten some glass containers?
I haven't had time to go get some glass containers yet, but I am going to up my Kratom game.
Dude, once you do it, it's nice, man.
Because whenever you reach your hand in a stupid fucking polish, you get Kratom all over your hand and stuff. It's just a mess.
I don't know why that's so irritating, but it is.
It's irritating because there's an much nicer, easier solution.
Yep.
And it's very cheap.
One scoop per jar.
Speaking of that, though, do you have any scoops I can steal?
I do. Yeah, for sure.
I appreciate that.
For sure, yeah. I know. We may have to order some more. We got to think ahead of time because it takes them like 6 fucking weeks to get here from China.
Well, it's not that big of a deal. I'm sure I can find another
store. No. We got enough. Yeah. I ordered 10, so that was back when we thought we were going to be like Kratom barons.
Whatever happened to that? We just kind of fizzled out, huh?
Dude, there's some legality thing going on.
You were a little nervous.
I was a little nervous. Yeah. Like, if we were going to do it, we would probably want to form an LLC specifically to sell the Kratom.
That way, if something happened, if
we went sideways somewhere.
We didn't bring down peddling innovations because of our...
Right, exactly. I'm not like moving in with you with my family. Like, hey, Rob, guess what?
Our Kratom venture didn't work out.
Right.
We got sued into oblivion.
We're moving in with you. So yeah, because I mean, it's a weird. I was just saying one. Cool. We're watching ADCC while we're talking here. So yeah, having a weird thing where like it's legal in some areas and not in others, and I think that there's something with taking credit cards and
there must be, because when you and I both purchased our Kratom from KratomCrazy.com. Seems to be a very reputable website. Yep. They haven't stolen anything.
Shout out, man. No, good stuff.
And good products. But it's the first time you make a purchase from there, it's a little concerning because it's not just a credit card.
Yeah, you got to give them like an
you got to give
check.
you got to give them your bank account information.
Basically,
you give them your account number and your routing number.
Yeah,
and they draft it from your account, and it's
different.
It's a little disconcerting.
Yeah,
and so
it's not necessarily. We looked it up. Actually, Kelly looked it up because she's pretty good at that shit. Like sometimes she uses Google for
good things,
too many questions. But yeah, good things too. And so yeah, man, she looked it up, and it was what the fuck are we talking about?
ECH.
Yeah. No, you can get they are like federally protected.
Oh, are they?
Yeah. So it is a little like a credit card. That's right.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, she was all. Because I was like, man, we gotta either find another place or
figure this out.
Did I tell you my CBD lady who I bought my CBD from was telling me about the CBD woes, like purchase like credit card shit?
Well, I didn't. Something to do with how they extract it makes it
illegal.
Or
yeah. If it's hemp derived CBD, then it's legal, and if it's THC like from marijuana derived CBD, then it's illegal. So yeah, I think it did mention that. But yeah, it gets weird, man. Like once you start selling these gray area products online and you got to process credit cards,
that's where things get a little squirrely.
If
you're doing it locally in a place that it's legal, it's not nearly as bad.
Yeah, not nearly as bad.
But when you start
processing,
it does get a little squirrely.
Yeah, so that was and man, to be honest with you too, I think our experience with it was that you give someone a bag of Kratom, they're going to take the bag of Kratom. It may not be what we wanted them to do. And we may have told them there's more than one dose in here. But you'll notice that everyone that we gave a sample to, no one came back and said, hey, that's good shit. Can I get more?
Randy did.
Randy did.
Well, he hasn't come back and say he wanted more.
Right.
But he's bought his own.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
Cool.
He's on the Kratom train.
Yeah. So
but I don't know if it, because who did we give samples to? Like Cameron, right?
Cameron and Tim. I forget who else we did. Brazilian Nick. And so yeah, we gave out a few samples.
No one, because when we first tried it, we were like, man, this is fucking awesome.
Good shit, man. Yeah.
But no one else was like
that. So that made me like, I've given it to some other people. And it's like, it's interesting. It's because it's not, again, man, people think like, man, if you get a good cup of coffee, right, and you're like, whoa, and you feel this thing. And it's like, Kratom's almost like an absence of something more than like adding something. I don't know, like I don't feel fatigued, right? And like not feeling fatigued is different than feeling like, woo! But the thing is like when I'm rolling jiu-jitsu, you know what I want? I want to not feel fatigued.
Right.
I don't want to feel woo, because like woo's going to get me in trouble. Like woo's like too much energy all at once. And so...
it's short-lived and it's
short-lived, exactly.
There's a downside to it.
Yeah. It's a fast-burning fuel, man. And so, like, that's the thing that we like, I like, and I think you do as well about Kratom, is it's like the energy's different in that it's more of like a mellow, more sustained. You're able to still, like, think clearly. There's a clarity to it. And so... if you're thinking like, man, this is going to be like snorting cocaine, it's like, no, man. Like, that's not it. It's not like popping a fucking handful of Vicodin or something. You know what I mean? Like, whatever your expectations are, what it is, it's like, I feel pretty good.
Well, it's funny you say that. It kind of goes into what we were having a conversation before we hit record. And we got on to how people are always going to tell you about their bad experiences before anybody tells you about their good experience.
Yeah.
More likely.
Yeah.
And I think that's what happened. Because I remember hearing Cameron say when we gave him the sample.
He took the whole bag.
Oh, did he?
Yes.
See, I didn't ever hear what happened, his experience of him taking it. I remember hearing him voicing his concerns. Like, man, somebody he knew, it seems somebody he had trained with, took it. And they said they got all... Brett. Remember Wrestler Brett?
Yeah.
He said he took it and got all cracked out. Was all fucking strung out on Kratom. So Cameron was worried he was going to get all strung out on Kratom.
Remember Nick said that too. Like, I don't know what Brett was doing, man. It's like, dude, what are you doing? Like, I talked to him. He seemed like relatively normal.
But I guess we're going to I'm going to put an asterisk on this. Brett is also the kid who got fired from the weed place for
Smoking weed.
So maybe we shouldn't be putting a bunch of
weight
onto what happens with Brett.
Exactly what his version of the story was. Yeah, man. No, I heard that too. Like, I don't know, because again, like, I've never really experienced the like taking it and feeling like you know, if I took a couple Vicodin or something.
No, I never got into that realm.
Yeah, no, not where you're just like, sitting on the couch and you're just like, I don't want to, comatose.
But you can't sleep or
right.
nothing.
And
No.
yeah, I've never experienced that with it. So maybe it affects some people differently.
The only, I would say, negative experience I had with it, and it wasn't that bad. The first store I went to, the one guy suggested I took this certain strain to help sleep.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, we were talking about that. I can't take it to sleep. Yeah.
No, I took it and I was wide awake.
Yeah.
But I didn't feel cracked out, and I was up reading for like 2 hours, and then I fell asleep.
Yeah.
But so that wasn't a terrible experience.
Yeah, it's not for sleep.
Not for me. It's not for sleep.
Yeah, some people maybe, but it's not for sleep for sure. That's why God made weed.
Yeah.
And or whatever, or meditation and oolers, and yeah, Cameron was the guy who he was like, I got all sick on it. It's like, I just took the bag. I'm like, dude, I told you there was like a couple doses in there, man. You didn't take the whole bag. He's like, I just, dumped it all in there. He took like 7 grams or something at once. First time. It's like,
That's not good.
No. Yeah, your tummy's not going to be pumped on that.
No.
He's like, oh, yeah. So, realistically, I realized that one of two things. Either we would have to give people scoops, which is one of the reasons I ordered the scoops. Or pills, man.
But that's...
If you gave someone some pills and you said, take 3 of these, or 2 of these, exactly.
They would take it.
Yep.
But if you give them a bag without a scoop in there and tell them, hey, there's about 2 servings in here.
Right. Take a few grams or whatever.
They're not... Most people, they're not going to have a food scale like me. They're not
going to have a
scoop.
We forget. We're outliers,
man.
I know. We do weird shit.
You give someone a bag, they're just going to take the whole thing.
Yeah.
I can totally see that.
Yep.
So,
yeah.
Our marketing strategy was a bit flawed.
It was. I mean, but we got to be. I still think that it's not that there's nothing there. I think that it's just, it's a learning thing, and I didn't feel like it was something that you wanted to learn on the fly. So, that's a mistake. Sorry, Mr. Fucking Federal.
That's illegal
dude.
shit.
Yeah.
We got guys with fucking aviators and tinted window cars outside knocking on the door like, what's going on here?
Fucking bank accounts are frozen. It's like, damn it.
Can't buy groceries for some reason.
Again, I may be exaggerating the possible repercussions, but you never know. One thing I have learned in my life is don't draw attention to yourself.
That makes life go a lot easier.
It does,
if
man.
You're just kind of flying below the radar.
Yep, exactly. And it's like, dude, do your shit, but just don't draw attention to yourself, and that's the easiest way to go. Yeah. So, but anyways, I think there's something there. I really like Kratom, and it drives me nuts to hear about like the whole. Have you listened to the Stuart Cooper interview on the Matt Byrne podcast? Yep. It's like,
that's a good interview.
It was a super good interview. I'm about 3/4 of the way through, but like to the point where he's talked about him getting addicted to opiates and diazepam or whatever.
Yeah.
And again, I'm not saying that like Kratom would have necessarily helped him, because he had a double thing going on there. But just the fact like that there are people out there that are like that. This is something that has been shown that can help people. And again, I'm saying shown like from anecdotal evidence or whatever. Like maybe there's not the studies to help
to get off
of fucking opiates, man.
And he couldn't. I don't know where you're at in the interview, but he was struggling to get help.
Yeah, couldn't get a doctor to help him.
No, because he admitted because he was over in Thailand. He's like, I'm hooked on these things, and he called his parents back in England or wherever it was, and he went back, moved in with them. He's like, I got to kick these things, my life is going fucking down.
Yeah.
And so it's cool. Let's take you to a doctor rehab, and the pills he was addicted to,
the diazepams
are what they give to people that are addicted to like heroin.
Or alcoholics or heroin, yeah.
But they don't have anything in place for if you're addicted to those diazepams.
Yeah.
But you can't just go off and cold
turkey. Because then technically, legally, if you think about it from like the system standpoint, if you walk in and you say, look, I've been taking these things self-administered and I'm addicted to it, and you give them the drug that they're addicted to, like that like, you know what I mean? Like, people would freak the fuck out over that. Like, you're puritanical, like, oh, you can't give people the drug that they're on. Like,
they can't go cold turkey.
Right, but if you got alcohol or some other thing and you need this other drug to help you get off of it,
it's
a different mindset, right? Because you're using a different drug to get off of this. And so, yeah, like, that's what he was running into is that weird thing in the legal system of like, oh, we can't give an addict the drug that he's addicted to, but we can give an addict another drug to help them get off of a drug.
Maybe they should have given him heroin.
Maybe.
Got him addicted to heroin.
But yeah.
And he didn't bring him back in. And
yeah.
Use diazepam. Just joking. But, yeah, it was a fucked up story. That's crazy, man. I didn't know that guy went through all that.
No, me neither. I love that dude's like that. I mean,
his videos that he put out. Great. I'm glad he's back on the scene now. But I thought it was really cool that he was so willing to like share his story like that.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, dude, there was a really good interview.
Yeah, I'm not all the way. I'm mostly through it, but yeah, I've gotten to like, you know, through that where it was like, yeah, I had no idea either. I love his shit. I remember I saw he did a video on Roy Dean, you know, in a profile, and it was right before I went to Oregon to go on a riding trip, and it was to Bend where his school used to be back when he had it, and the fucking flies are gonna die.
I know, dude. That one's being a nuisance. No, he's fucking flying around me.
I'm gonna go get my fly swatter here in a second.
We're gonna have to.
Yeah.
That thing's aggressive.
Man, got him. Yes, Daniel-san.
Man, that's pretty good.
Hell yeah. But
you scared Hawker. It's all right, buddy.
He's like, shit. He's coming to get me. He's convinced that one day I'm gonna just turn on him and kill him. I don't know why. He's like, I knew it. This is the day.
This is the day.
This is the day.
So
oh man, I knew it. It's coming.
I got you, buddy.
I'm not gonna look at him. Oh, you're a good boy. You're my good boy. Yes, you are. You're fine. He's like, I'm comfortable here. But yeah, I remember seeing that video and then going to Bend, and I had a chance to go train at Roy's school, and it was just cool because Stuart does a really good job of telling a story through his videos. And so, you know, you're meeting Roy, and I'm like, man, I kind of feel like I know a little bit about your story. And I remember telling him, I came in early, and he was like, oh, it's $20 for a drop-in fee, and I didn't have the cash. I was like, I had a credit card, and he's like, oh, we'll take care of it after class. And we started talking, and I even told him, I was like, man, I remember I just watched, you know, that Stuart Cooper video on you, and it was great because he basically moved to Bend just on a whim. You know, he was like, he had people telling him like, hey, it's a great place to live. You know, it's interesting because there's not like a lot of jiu-jitsu there. It's kind of like Grand Junction where it's not big enough to have a bunch of schools. And so he went there and he was like, dude, I love this place. It's awesome. I'm going to move here and make it work. And I was like, that was like me with Fruta. I think that's exactly what happened with me. I came here and I was like, dude, this place is great. I'm going to move here and make it work. And so we're talking and I'm telling him, like, man, this is great. It's kind of what I did. And we were just chatting for a little bit. And then, yeah, you know, at the end of class, I go to pay him with the credit card and he's like, nah, man, you're good. And cool. yeah. But if it wasn't for Stuart's film, like honestly, and kind of like having that perspective on him and being able to like talk to him about something, you know, I maybe he would have, but it's like, you know, hey man, you're another cool guy, but it's like, hey, we have a $20 drop-in fee, but you make a connection with somebody and it's like, makes a little, you know, hey man, that's fine. You're here to train, cool. And, but yeah, I always remember that, man. It was a really cool experience, especially since Roy doesn't have a school anymore. So, you know, you got to go like one of his seminars or something to work with him. But he was cool because originally he was a Japanese jiu-jitsu guy. Like he's got a strong Japanese background to his jiu-jitsu. And so it reflected in kind of his school and like, you know, you're sitting in the kneeling position. Yeah. And it was cool. I liked the vibe. He had a very cool vibe to his school.
You know, that wouldn't upset me if some jiu-jitsu schools were more structured like that.
Yeah. I think the Brazilian's good, man, but I think we need to, like, the jiu-jitsu, like, man, jiu-jitsu has its origins and it's an Asian martial art.
Mm-hmm. Well, and dude, I get it because it's a cultural thing. Brazilian, I'm speaking just from the Brazilian people I've met and trained with.
Assumptive as fuck.
I haven't spent any time there, but it's a more relaxed culture.
Yes.
It is a more chilled culture. I'm not saying anything bad, just different.
No.
It's just a different...
In some ways, it's good.
It's great.
It's great.
But you see that come through in the martial art. Like, I've trained at a lot of jiu-jitsu schools over the years. Some are more structured and disciplined than others. But still, even the more structured, disciplined ones are still pretty chill as far as martial arts go.
Yeah.
They really are. And because, I came up in Tang Soo Do. It's Korean karate. Or Korean martial art. When I was 5, from the age of 5 up until I was 12 or 13 was my first experience. And that shit was fucking discipline heavy.
Yeah.
You don't step on the mat without balling. You don't step out. If you do, guess what? You're going to go stand over in the corner in horse stance and think about why you didn't fucking bow.
Yes.
And then maybe the instructor will let you join class. Maybe he won't. Oh, your legs get tired. You couldn't hold horse stance until I told you to stop. Do some fucking push-ups till your legs feel better, and then back to horse stance. That's how it was ran. And when the instructor was telling you the lesson or teaching you the technique, you were fucking paying attention. You got caught talking. Oh, guess what? You got enough energy to talk? Go do some more fucking push-ups.
Yeah.
I mean, that's one end, but there's value to it.
There's value to it.
There's value to it. You don't have to be that
crazy.
crazy.
Especially with the kids.
Yes,
I think with the
kids.
kids. I think the adults can be a little, because, there needs to be some of that. I think, there definitely needs to be some respect. And,
right.
And look, this is a master and student relationship. And so, but I will say, I do really like the chill vibe of the Brazilian side of the martial art. And definitely reminds me way more of Hawaii, where, hey man, if you're 10 minutes late, you're still technically early.
Right.
That's just how things go. And, I think that it can go too far either way, right? That's the thing.
There's a happy medium somewhere.
Yeah, there's a tension between these two things. And I think that's it's an interesting thing when you think about a lot of things. There's a tension between two extremes. And it's that tension between those extremes that makes the shit happening in the middle so, awesome. And it's when one side starts to try to fucking dominate the other side and resolve that tension that shit gets out of hand, and so, but anyways, I know what you're saying. And
I agree with you. I think, a kids program, in my opinion, should be more disciplined. Because a lot of times, that's why parents put their kids in martial arts, is to help them learn discipline.
Yeah.
It's not only for exercise and the self-defense aspect, but that's what they did for me when I was a kid. That was part of it, because I was kind of a little bit of an unruly kid, fucking trying to karate chop my sister and shit. And so they needed to point that in the right direction. And that's what it provided. And I think kids need that. Kids need some structure.
They do, man.
I'm obviously not a fucking parent, but I just see how kids learn, especially in the martial arts and the sports. They really take well and learn well when the coach is up there. He doesn't have to be a goddamn Nazi, but when he's an authority figure,
commanding some respect,
and they listen, and it just goes smoother. Everybody gets more out of it.
Yep.
So
yeah. No, I mean that's because I mean really, what are you trying to teach kids? We were kind of talking about this a little bit earlier. It's like, dude, honestly, they're not learning jiu-jitsu at 6, 7, 8 years old. They're not learning jiu-jitsu.
You're really teaching a bigger picture.
Yeah, bigger picture.
Life kind of thing.
Yeah.
How to get along with other kids and how to listen and how to be part of a team.
Play and discipline.
So many things.
Yeah, and if you have these things in place, then guess what? When you're older and you're able to actually start learning jiu-jitsu, you're gonna have an easier time doing it, because these are the framework that you need for it. But man, no, it's definitely good balance. What's up, dude?
Can I have this?
What is it?
It's a caramel apple.
Holy crap! I'll tell you what. Here, come here. Bring it here. Why don't you tell? Let's show Rob, and we're gonna get it ready for you here, man.
Ooh.
Yeah. So.
Man, I didn't get one of those. That looks pretty good.
Can I?
Yeah, I'm gonna get it cut up for you. Hang out there with Rob. We're gonna cut it up on air.
Wait, what do you mean?
Go in there and hang out.
Come talk to me, Z. Do you want to do a Pokemon update on the podcast?
Oh.
Go get some of your new cards and talk about them. I'll watch the Apple. Our listeners haven't had a Pokemon update in quite a while.
They got 3, man. You can choose 3.
Choose the big one.
Okay, hold on.
Don't take too long. The 200 are impatient. So, yeah, we got a caramel apple here.
How do you score this? Where'd this
Probably Becca.
Oh, she
came over and picked up Shiloh. They're going to the Fruit of Fall Festival.
Gotcha.
Wait, Dad,
So-
let me have the whole thing.
Yes, calm down, buddy.
Is that how you got that apple? Becca brought it over to you?
So, I got a new Pokemon pack. I'm gonna choose... I chose 3 of them. The first one is Murkrow. It does no damage and it has 70 hit points.
Cool.
Now, Execute. It does 10 damage and... It does 10 damage and the 10 damager is called Leech Seed. The last one, it's Porygon ZGX. It has 240 hit points. It does 160 damage, 0 and 0.
Cool. Thanks for the update.
Thanks for the update, man.
And now you got an apple.
Hold on. I'm going to put this on the table.
Hey, can I have a little piece? That looks pretty good, man. Can you share a little piece with me? Just tell your dad to slice a little corner off. I don't even need a big piece.
There you go. Give him that corner.
Yeah, that looks
Okay.
pretty good.
Come on, man. You can share.
No, I thought that he did it.
Oh.
Thank you, buddy. I appreciate that.
Okay, we're going to go put this on the table for Z, and then we're going to continue the podcast here.
We don't necessarily run a real professional outfit around here.
Yeah, keep it going, Rob, by yourself.
I'm watching Lucas Lepre and Lachlan Giles. I think I've already watched this match. Almost spoil it in case you guys haven't seen it yet.
All right.
You're back. That's pretty good caramel apple.
Yeah, it's not too bad, man. Caramel apples are always pretty
I haven't
good.
had one of those in ages.
No?
Mm.
Yeah, they're all right. Oh, he's left his big card. Hey, Z, here's your big card, brother. Yep. All right, so
We're back.
we're back to the task at hand, which is
Who knows?
who knows? What were we talking about?
Discipline, martial arts, kids.
That's right. Discipline martial.
I'm kind of on that same vein too. I don't know if we talked about this. Because I'm still reading that Japanese novel, Shogun.
Okay, yeah.
I'm like 600 pages in. I got another 600 to go.
Yeah. It's a thick one.
Dude, it's huge. I got to bring that book over to you. It's a really cool looking book. They did a really good job, man. It's mostly black, and it's got like some like the title's kind of like etched into it. It's not just printed. It's kind of sunk down in. It's silver. It's got one of those built-in bookmarks, like a red string rope thing. Dude, it's really pretty book.
Nice.
But anyways, I digress. So I was thinking about, because the whole thing, like the Brazilian culture is more laid back, and Japanese stuff is definitely way more strict as far as martial arts go. But then as I'm reading, because I've been reading a bunch of Japanese books lately, like Musashi books and some other shit. But then I started thinking about like the Japanese and like even the Japanese martial arts, very philosophical. And the Brazilians and Portuguese, they're not very philosophical people. And I'm not saying that's bad or good.
Yeah.
But you see that manifest itself in the martial arts also. Some people that practice jiu-jitsu are more philosophical than others. But by and large, it's not the thing.
Yeah.
But when you go into the other Asian martial arts, it is. It's definitely heavier on that.
Yeah.
I kind of find that interesting. I was thinking about that while I was reading one of these books the other day. I was like, huh.
I think...
Because Jigoro Kano was fairly philosophical. You read some of his stuff, the founder of Judo. He would go down that route.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
But you don't pick up on much of that from the Brazilian guys.
Yeah. Well, his whole thing was like using martial arts in the education system as a way to just
personal development, vehicle for personal development.
Yeah. So I think if I could make just like just my own thing, and I've mentioned this before, I forget what book it was, but they made a distinction, right? Like, so because you have things like jiu-jitsu, and then you have things like judo, right? And so you had your God, I forget what the words were, man, but they were like the letter at the end, right? Like the U, it was I can't remember the word, but I gotta look it up, but there's two different words, and one was a art that was actually a self-defense, life and death art, and one was more of a sport personal development. And so if the sport and personal development was where's that philosophical side comes in, and the reality is that kind of came into things later, like Zen and its fusion with the Asian martial arts, and the samurai especially, and the Japanese martial arts, like that wasn't it wasn't always there. Like it entered into it that at some point, and it became part of the mindset, and that's what led to the creation of martial arts that were like Taekwondo, for example. Like that's not a self-defense art. It is a sports personal development art. And again, I'm not saying like someone who knows Taekwondo is not going to be able to handle themselves against someone. I'm not. That's not what this is about. But it's just the reality. And so, but if you look at where jiu-jitsu was originally the hand-to-hand combat art the samurai used. If you lost your swords,
this is what you do.
What the fuck do you do?
Jiu-jitsu.
And this is it. Jiu-jitsu. That's where it started. That was so. I think that's fucking cool. Like I think that most people who do jiu-jitsu don't realize that you are sharing like that
battlefield art.
Yes, there's a strand through time that goes back to Musashi. Musashi studied jiu-jitsu. Like that fucking
back
that's
to the
cool.
1500s.
Yes, I mean even before that it was like. But anyways, but yeah, like Musashi he was in the 1600s.
He's 1600s.
Yeah. But it's But anyways, the point is like yes, you share that. That's a cool lineage that we have. And then the way that history had it with the samurai falling out of favor after Japan was defeated in World War II and whichever, and then it basically was illegal to carry the swords. The whole jiu-jitsu started to become used by because it was illegal to have weapons, criminals would use martial arts. So jiu-jitsu was the hand-to-hand martial art. And so it started to develop a bad reputation.
Only thugs did
jiu-jitsu. And so that's why Jigoro Kano made judo. Like he took, because judo is jiu-jitsu. He took elements of jiu-jitsu and he created judo, and he named it different specifically because he was trying to separate it from the bad reputation that jiu-jitsu had in Japan. And so that's why, and then judo, as we all know, his schools were Mitsuyato Maeda training came from, and then Mitsuyato Maeda ends up over in Brazil and trains the Gracies, and then they start to incorporate that stuff into what they're doing. But they were always doing it as a martial art. Like no, we're actually fighting people here. It wasn't a personal development thing. And so again, I think if I was going to say like why I think that difference is there is like because the Japanese have had the time with the art to get to the point where the philosophical personal development side of it is there. Whereas, like, dude, if you're just trying to train so that when you go to the beach and the fucking other school shows up that you can fucking throw down and scrap, that's a different goal.
Might have something to do with it.
It's a different goal.
I can see that.
And I think that's one of the things where that's one of the tensions in jiu-jitsu today is you have those people who are like, dude, in all honesty, like sport jiu-jitsu is kind of going more towards like a jiu-jitsu. You know what I mean? Like it's not.
It is.
It would be.
It's a lot of the sport jiu-jitsu you see dominating tournaments nowadays isn't really good for self-defense.
No.
Or, you start playing a lot of lapel
start
guards
playing
and
points
instead of like it's effective for what it's doing at the time.
Yep.
But that's gotten away from what it originally started out as.
And again, I don't know that again, like I don't. If I just my gut reaction, my personal feelings, like I'm okay with it turning into a jiu-jitsu, like going from jiu-jitsu being like a true martial, like a combat martial art as opposed to a personal development martial art, right? Like I'm okay with that.
I'm okay with the sport of it
because the thing is like man, we're not like we're not combat. Most of us are not going to get into a street fight. We don't have to worry about gym raids.
No.
You know what I mean? Like, it's not where we're at. And I'd say, if I conservative estimate, I would say at least 51% or more of the people doing jiu-jitsu in at least America today, if not, the bigger picture, are doing it more for, like, personal development.
Exercise.
They still want to compete, but it's like, man, I don't want to scrap.
No.
That's not my point. And so, like, I think that there's a difference there, but there's a tension, and we were talking about it earlier, man. Like, that's what makes cool shit happen. We don't need to resolve that tension. Mm-hmm. We need to be aware of it.
Just respect.
We need to argue it.
Yeah.
Some people are going to be here, and we're never going to resolve it. But just know that, like, hey, man, that's why the cool shit happens, right? It's going to go too far one way. It's going to go the other way. Like, and in the process, like, it's just going to keep getting fucking better. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I think that's a good way to look at it. But
I agree.
Yeah, it's funny though, if you don't know your history, and a lot of people doing jiu-jitsu like really don't know their history, like where jiu-jitsu is tied to judo, and judo is tied to original jiu-jitsu, and what exactly jiu-jitsu was.
It's funny. Our buddy Preacher Paul, he hit me up yesterday, wondering if I had any books on the history of jiu-jitsu, because he's got to do some sort of writing assignment. I don't know what he's doing. I didn't ask. I didn't get into it. Didn't have time yesterday. I said, yeah, man, let me check when I got home. And I got one book. I think it's called like The Gracie Way. Talks all about the history. Talks all about all the brothers and cousins and the history of jiu-jitsu. And then I got a couple of old books about judo.
Yeah.
I loaned them all to him.
Nice.
Because he just asked the jiu-jitsu one, but I was like, take these judo ones.
The judo ones is.
I was like, take
that
these
is
ones.
it.
I was like, take these
that
ones
is the
too.
history of jiu-jitsu.
I was like, there's history of jiu-jitsu here too.
Yeah. Jigaro Kano is it.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's that.
If it wasn't for him, we wouldn't have been doing our bars today.
No, man. He's that touchstone. He's between the past and the present.
Yep.
Like, he's the guy that bridged the past and the present, and it's like, yeah, like, so I don't know. I was one of reading Dan John stuff. He always talked about, like, if you need to know and love the roots of your sport, and I think that's important. I think that knowing and loving the roots of your sport, if you're gonna do it for the long term, is I don't know. I think it's helpful.
I think it's helpful.
It's helpful for sure. There's a lot of people that make it to a real high level and they enjoy it a lot and they don't know, and that's fine.
That's fine. That's fine also. But I think you get more out of it if you know the roots of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's something I always try to explain to new people. You got to think Helio Gracie. He was a little guy. He was not a big guy.
Yeah.
And he had to take what techniques worked for his brothers that were big and strong and athletic. He couldn't make them work. Like, he didn't have the strength or the athleticism to make them work, so he had to tweak them. And a lot of what we do today in jiu-jitsu is, what I teach is that same principle. Like, hey man, you don't have to be a freak athlete to make this shit work. If you get into a position and you're finding yourself having to exert yourself 80%, 90% of your muscle to make it work, like, there's an easier way.
Yes.
Like, you shouldn't be fucking hitting the throttle.
Yeah.
You back out a little bit.
Yep.
Back off and find an easier way. And that comes from, that's exactly what he did. He saw techniques like, oh, they're always muscling this, and I don't have the muscle. Let's find a different way.
Yeah. A small guy jiu-jitsu.
It's
like that Marcelo Cohen Kimura video.
Yeah.
He's a fucking rooster weight. It's like, dude, if he's able to do that, if that technique works for him, and I can attest, like, I've been having like really good luck with the shit that he had on that video, and it's like, if it works for a small guy who's not relying on some sort of size or strength advantage, then
should be able to make it work.
It's legit.
Yep.
So yeah, that's the cool thing with jiu-jitsu. Those angles. It's once you learn how to use angles and wedges effectively, like, that's really all the other stuff, like your hips and shoulders, like base and posture, like those things are like ways to apply those things, right? But it's just those fucking those elemental things, learn how to use those effectively, and once you do it, it's it's not as hard. So yeah, it's been interesting. I don't know, I've been like seeing jiu-jitsu a little differently lately.
That's good.
For that, it is. It's hard. You get to the point where you're like, like in drill class, it's like, okay, I got to drill stuff, but it's so hard to fucking recreate what you really need to work on in drilling. You know, so much of it is just like, you just have to deal with the live randomized reactions. You can try and like peel it back, and we're having, you know, that's what we were doing, but that's the hard part, is like trying to figure out like, okay, what would really happen here? Right. And then trying to answer that question rather than, you know, we were both doing that, you know, when you were, you know, drilling your pass, and I was thinking like, all right, because that's why we're good training partners, because like we both, I don't know, we're like, my philosophy, and I think you share it too, is like, I don't want my jiu-jitsu to rely on ignorance.
No.
I don't want the other person's ignorance to be the reason that I was successful.
No, I say that all the time. I don't want parlor trick jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
I don't want techniques that are only going to work
if the other person doesn't know what's going on.
Surprise attack, you know, that's good here or there. But
they don't have good fundamental shit, right?
That can't be good fundamental.
Like, they're not making good grips, or you know what I mean? If they're doing something fundamentally wrong,
right,
and then that's the reason you're being successful,
that's no good.
That's not what you want. And dude, like, I'm fucking aware of that when I roll, right? Like, if I get something or get through like a pass, or I get something and I recognize that they fucking missed something, I'm pissed at myself. I'm like, that was...
It bothers me.
Yes, it bothers me. I'm like, dude, I didn't deserve that.
I didn't get that because I didn't do something good.
I did not deserve that right there. And yeah, that's the trick, is trying to figure out like how you practice that. And but yeah, so much of jiu-jitsu is... it's like a feel. It's like pressure and feel and like seeing angles. And dude, it's weird. Like, now I'm starting to see people shoulder dip. It's like, oh, you want to go that way. It's like, you know, I've heard, you know, people talk about it, right? Like, that's why you do have to shit. Like leg lasso, I'm trying to get their shoulder to dip so I can... It's so much of that. But it's like, it's just interesting when you start to see it. Instead of like, you know, I'm going to make their shoulder dip. It's like, oh, his shoulders dip. Let's see what I can do with that. And it's like a different, at least to me, like so far, it seems like a different way to see jiu-jitsu, is seeing like, where's their body, and then, you know, what are they opening up from their own position?
Where are they strong? Where are they weak? This position.
Exactly. Now, can I start poking them where they're weak?
Yeah.
And then, they're going to get strong there, but they're going to have another weak point. Can I start poking there? And it's like, poke their weak points instead of trying to fucking... you know, attack their strong points or whatever. Yeah, man. Yeah. So it's a lot more fun. I find myself like kind of smiling and laughing half the time, because it's just such a fun fucking puzzle to solve. But once you understand the problem to solve, like, that's the thing, we talk about it all the time. Like, half the frustration in jiu-jitsu comes because like you don't know what puzzle to solve.
No, you're solving one problem.
It's the wrong problem.
You're like, fuck, I shouldn't have been.
It's the wrong fucking problem. And it's like, everyone has been telling us, man. It's like, you know, hey, jiu-jitsu's simple. Like Pimenta says, it's simple. It's fucking base and posture.
Defense, posture, base.
Pressure, angles. And it's like, yeah, when you start to see jiu-jitsu on, like, through those lenses, it's like, oh yeah, it is simple.
It is simple.
But then you get tired, and then it goes back to the... like, holy shit, I can't see anything.
Breathing fucking heavy.
I'm just trying to stall out here.
Speaking of that, you know what I got bored one day this week, and one of the workouts I did, I was incorporating, it was my isometric day, right? So I think we talked about last week's podcast, where I have a movement-based day, where I do my, you know, squat, bench, deadlift, or whatever, you know, pull-ups. And then the next day I do more of an isometric-based day. Well, I think it was, so that would have been like Thursday. I would do 10 burpees, and then my isometric, and then 10 burpees, and then my isometric, then 10. And I did my whole, so it was fast, and I could do, and I was doing the isometrics to the 30-20-10, so they only lasted a minute, and I could get 10 burpees done in under a minute, and without breathing too heavy.
Yeah.
And it started getting more and more taxing as it went on. But I could fly, I was a little short on time because I got home late the night before, so sleep, blah, blah, blah. So I just hammered it out, man. 10 burpees, boom, get set up on my next isometric, do that. So I did all the isometric, you know, exercises, and I even had some where I was doing on Bob, you know, some rear back attack and squeezing the choke or whatever, and then boom, right into 10 burpees, and then back to the isometric. That was pretty fucking good, man.
Interesting. I
liked it.
Yeah. That's some good specific.
Well, very, very specific.
Yeah.
It replicates a match pretty close.
Yeah. It's definitely more kind of like a cardio than a strength.
Correct.
Thing, because like fatigue is the enemy of strength.
Yeah, I'm not. By the time I get halfway through, I'm not generating quite 100%.
Yeah, but strength endurance
Yep.
is definitely that's interesting because that's the tough thing with jiu-jitsu is it's so tough to replicate in any real fashion through a cardio workout because of the isometric element that you have. So like just doing like bike sprints or doing no, it's not the same. So
this was pretty good.
That's what I'm saying, man. Like that's an interesting thing, man. Like that because you're incorporating that isometric in the movement, and really that's the tough thing. And you're using multiple movements, and so like you know mono movement versus multi movement cardio. And like jiu-jitsu is a multi movement sport. It's not running where you're doing one movement over and over and over again. So doing a mono movement method to train your cardio isn't the best. So yeah, that's good, man.
I liked it.
Yeah,
and I just kind of did it on the whim. I was doing some burpees just to warm up, just to get my blood flow going and get my heart rate up. And I was like, you know what? Why don't I just mix these in?
Yeah.
And so I did. I just fucking mixed them in. And I was like, dude, it was pretty good. I was pretty pumped. I was like, I'm onto something. I'm gonna start doing that on a regular basis.
Interesting.
So I got to keep my gas tank up for when I come back to wrestling.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, you do.
You just said that so matter of factly. Like, yeah, you do. Yeah, I know. It's a concern. Believe me, it haunts me. It keeps me up at night sometimes.
Yeah, just as long as you know that nothing you do will be enough.
It won't be enough.
But
at least I can help.
At least it'll help.
At least it'll help.
Yeah. No, man, you're getting pretty close.
Yeah.
What do you got? Like
December. Like, back to wrestling in December.
Yeah, in December. So over less than 3 months. Mm-hmm. So. Nice.
Getting there, man.
I know. It's good, man. Yeah, you're gonna come back and fucking. It'll be interesting. Interesting to see.
It's gonna be weird.
Yeah.
It's gonna be pretty fucking weird.
Yeah. I've had like a whole year of doing like everything but wrestling.
Yeah, I haven't wrestled since February, dude.
Right. So. Yeah. Well.
That's the longest I've gone without wrestling since I started jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
Well, no, because after my first knee surgery, I came back a little sooner than 9 months. But my surgeon was pretty adamant this time.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want you fucking even thinking about it until that 9-month mark.
Yeah.
So.
Heck yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Well, it'll be fun.
I'm ready. It's taking its toll on me mentally. Okay.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah.
I know, it's funny. It's one of those things, man. In like a couple years, you're going to look back and it's going to be like, oh, that was a thing.
That was a thing.
But, I made it and, fucking, I got A, B, and C out of it. I know you're going to look back and be like, dude, there's definitely things that I took out of that time that, I'm a better person and my jiu-jitsu is actually better because of it.
I'll be interested to see how my jiu-jitsu changes. Because it's going to have an effect on it.
Yeah.
It's definitely going to have an effect on it. You go that long with only being able to drill and theorize and watch matches and instructionals and other people roll. Excuse me. Yeah, it's going to have an effect on it.
Yeah.
We'll find out.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I bet you'd be surprised. Because you've been mentally engaged with it, So, that's why, I'm really curious. I'm curious to see. I think it's going to be different than you think.
We'll find out.
I don't know what that means.
I don't know what that means either.
It's one of those, fucking, statements. It doesn't really mean anything.
But it does mean something.
It does mean something. Yeah. I feel like you're going to, like, if I had to take a wild guess, man, I think that obviously your cardio is going to suffer some. But, like, man, I think you're probably going to find, like, some things you're actually, like, doing, like, you're doing different or better. Like, other things are going to be off, but, like, because you continue to try to, like, think and continue to progress your, like, how you see jiu-jitsu and all that stuff. So, and that's really on some level, it's the most important thing, right? Because you can have all the physical shit, and if you don't have the mindset,
but if you're not seeing it the right way, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
That's so much jiu-jitsu is seeing it the right way.
Yeah.
Seeing the right problem,
Obviously, you have to have the physical side, because without that, there is no, like, real jiu-jitsu. It's all theoretical.
But that's the easy part, really.
Yeah, it is. It is the easy part. That's why I said, man, I think it's going to be different than you think. Like, because you've had all this time doing the isometrics as well and all the other training. So I think, like, physically, you're going to feel, obviously the cardio is going to be there. But dude, I bet you're not gonna like your strength and shit is probably gonna be like more.
Yeah, I'm a little stronger right now than I have been. So
Yeah,
that's all I can fucking do is lift.
Right. Yeah, you just had a year solid of fucking the isometrics as well and all that shit. So, you know,
I'm gonna go run some hills tomorrow.
Yeah. There'll definitely be some things, man, but I forget where I saw it. It was one of the Instagram accounts I follow, but they had a meme they posted, and it was scientific wrestling. That's what it was, and it was strength and technique take a long time to develop, but stick around, and cardio and timing, you know, kind of easy come, easy go.
They come and go.
They come and go. And so I think that's exactly like your cardio and timing isn't going to be there. But, dude, your strength and technique is still there. And your strength's probably better than where it was. And your technique, like I said, like mentally you continue to progress stuff and think about things. So I think it's going to be different than you think.
Hopefully I've been thinking about the right things.
Yeah.
The question.
Yeah. I'd love it if you came back. Well, see, I say that, but I don't. Like, I don't want to beat Lesser Rob. Right?
It's possible.
There's no glory in that. Like part of me is like, man, I hope Rob comes back and I have this small little window where I got a fucking chance to put it on him once or twice. But the other part is like, that's fucking bullshit. Like, I want you to come back and be a fucking, you know, like, I don't want you to be a lesser version of yourself, and that's why I'm on top of you. It's like, I want to be like, you know, you fucking whatever, man. Better Rob.
I've been fully trying to come to terms with that because I know when I come back, things are going to be tough.
Dude, I don't know, man. I'd be surprised. You've been doing this a long time. It's baked into your DNA.
I have been doing it a long time, man.
It's like, I don't know what the equivalent for jiu-jitsu would be, but I jokingly say, like, if you cut me open, I'd bleed Tri-Flow, which is like, you know, the fucking old school lube that you would use on your bike for everything. It's like, I'm a mountain biker. It's like, it's baked into my fucking DNA. I could not ride a bike for 5 years and jump on one and still, like, rip some fucking trails. And, like, that's what you are with jiu-jitsu, man. Like I said, I don't know what the equivalent is if they cut you open, like, what you would bleed. But
I have no idea.
I don't know. Blood. I'd bleed my own blood.
Bleed my own blood.
That's what I'd bleed. But, yeah, that's what you are, man. So I wouldn't worry about it too much, but I'll be happy to have you back.
Me too.
Be another good training partner. So can never have too many of those.
Nope.
So yeah.
Yeah, our good buddy Nate's hurt. Did you see him walking around all stiff?
Yeah, what was up with that, man? I heard him talking about his neck's all fucked up.
He was calling it an upper thoracic strain. So up in between the shoulder blades. It's, I guess, pretty bad. You see him just walking around like he looked real stiff and uncomfortable.
Yeah.
He said he's been pretty fucked up, man. Like he's been sleeping in his recliner for like the past 2 weeks because he can't even quite lay down. He's been to a few different doctors. Like, he's pretty fucked up. He blamed it on jiu-jitsu. I blamed it on his powerlifting.
That's hilarious, man. I heard, like, I forget who I was getting fucking, I think Randy was beating the shit out of me or something, man. But I remember I heard you guys talking, and I was, like, thinking, like, I had something to say, but then I was quickly, like, had to go back to focusing on...
not getting strangled.
Yeah, like, what was going on in my world. But, yeah, I remember you hearing that, and he's like, you know, you're like, oh, I think it's the powerlifting, and he's like, nah, it's the jiu-jitsu, and it's like... I was like, what the fuck, man? Like, powerlifting's so unnatural. Jiu-jitsu, like, yeah, it's rough on your body, but, man, like, it's so much more natural for you than lifting.
Well, and honestly, like, and all joking aside, I think it's the combination of the two.
Yeah.
He's 40 years old.
Yeah.
Like, they're both strenuous activities.
Yeah.
One's not eating the other.
No.
They're competing activities. And your body's
not healthy.
And it's not. I think that's what it is. Honestly,
Yeah.
like, I really do, because he's not. Like, he's the way he's lifting weights, just from him telling me. I mean, I haven't seen him train, but from all the talking we do, he's training like a powerlifter, and he's training to be better at powerlifting.
Yeah.
He's not. His training isn't to undo the damage jiu-jitsu's doing or fortify him for jiu-jitsu. It's two completely separate sports.
Yeah, he's training two different sports.
He's training two different sports, and guess what, man? We're 40 fucking years old.
Yeah.
Your body can't take that. It's gonna break. Something's gonna break. So whether you want to call it jiu-jitsu doing it or you want to call it powerlifting doing it,
yeah,
it's the combo of the two.
Dude.
We We don't have the resources to recover. You know, it's funny. Randy and I we were watching some of these ADCC matches at the gym, and he asked me, he's like, what percentage of these athletes do you think are on some sort of PEDs? I was like, yeah,
fucking 101%.
I was like 99%. I was like maybe even 100. And here was my rationale: as hard as they have to train to compete at this high level, their bodies are getting fucking abused. And they don't test.
Right.
In the ADCC. You would almost be foolish not to be on something.
Yeah.
To train to lead. I know if I was in ADCC, I'd be on something. Just to help recovery.
Yeah.
You're not in there trying to pack on muscle. I'm in there, I want to recover so I can keep training hard. I want to recover so I can keep training hard. You know what does that best? Fucking steroids. Creatine ain't going to do it. Acai ain't going to do it. Get yourself some fucking Mexican supplements. You're going to recover so much better and you're going to be healthier.
Yeah.
I hate to say it, but you are. I mean, that's what they say, about the guys doing the Tour de France. It's healthier for them to be on some sort of fucking performance enhancement.
So unhealthy what you do to your body to push it to that level.
Yep. And the guys that are training for this at this level,
same thing.
They're training hard as fuck for that.
Yeah.
You're going to break down. You'd be smart to take something.
Yeah.
So, but it's kind of the same thing. Like that's why I think Nate's getting hurt.
Because he's not doing steroids.
Yes.
That was your point, right?
That's my point. Get on the sauce, buddy. If you want
That's right, man.
If you want to keep fucking powerlifting and doing jiu-jitsu.
You need some fucking...
You need the juice,
Decadurabolin.
Something.
Some Primavol and Depot.
Sustanon. I don't know what you would need.
You need to get on
for
it,
recovery,
buddy.
But you need some sort of cocktail.
That's right. So
he hangs out at Gold's Gym long enough. He can find some sort of cocktail.
That's right. Yeah. So there's your problem. You need more steroids.
Don't stop what you're doing.
I'm pretty sure they don't test at your job. So
no.
He could be the most jacked fucking engineer around. So, yeah, no, man. It's it was interesting though, because I was catching bits and pieces of the conversation, but dude, people, it's so interesting now that I see it. And again, I get on my weird tangents, and I'm like, why doesn't anyone else see this? And maybe I'm the fucking crazy person. But he's talking about, what were they telling him to do? What was the solution? What was the recommendation for him?
To heal up?
Yeah.
Basically just time and, rehab exercise, bands, pull apart.
But why? Why was he doing the bands?
I don't know. I don't know why.
He said he doesn't have enough strength in his, in his upper back. I mean, that was, the point of doing, the band work is to, develop that upper back strength to, stabilize... Because that's what it is.
Is that what the purpose would be of doing that?
Yeah. Because you get too rounded, right? So basically, what happens is muscles can get locked long, just like they can get locked short. So we think about getting locked short, like hip flexors get locked short, but muscles can get locked long. And so,
So when you get locked short on the front side, and
your chest is locked short, but your lats and your upper back and your rhomboids get locked long.
And that's what's...
Yeah, and so you literally lose the ability to retract them through their full range of motion. And because again, your body, stiffness is cheap stability. Okay, if you're in a position all the time and your body's like, hey, I need to be stable in this position and I'm here all the fucking time, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to start getting stiff. Because stiffness is cheap stability. That's your body wants to perform the task you're asking it to do with the least amount of energy possible. And so...
Getting stiff's a good way to do that.
Exactly. And so, so if your upper back is rounded a lot, so jiu-jitsu, definitely sitting at a desk, sitting in a car, driving, and then you're at the gym, and it's maybe you're trying to pull your lats back and down, but man, you're locked, your muscles are literally locked long. And so you're not able to get them in the right position. So now you're running all this tension and all this force through your upper back, and you're just not able to get your upper back into the right position to handle it. And it's this is going to happen. So that's why, they were saying, do the band exercises. That's the idea is, you need to start, strengthening those muscles.
To get them pulled back.
To get them pulled back into
right
place.
Position.
Right. But, man, what were we, I was talking about last week, what's the fundamental element of strength? Tension. What's the best way to train tension?
Isometrics.
Okay. Was there any talk of isometrics in any of what was going on?
No.
That dude should be on 100% isometrics. both for the upper back itself and then also just getting back into lifting in general, because isometrics are going to be the safest way for you to start creating tension within these movement patterns while making sure that you're creating tension in the upper back the way that you want to. Because it's not just the upper back, right? Like muscle function is movement specific. So you standing there and doing like isolated movements that work the upper back and get it to move and get it into position, that's great.
But you're barely moving the needle in the long run.
Right, exactly, because now you have to hold that position while you hinge, while you squat, while you press, while you do all of these other movements. And so if you don't train that upper back position with those, like in the context of those other movements,
you're not going to own. It's not a position you're going to own.
No,
You know what I mean?
Strength is not an isolated thing. It's contextual.
Mm-hmm.
You have to give strength a context. And so, doing some isolated stuff is fine to start getting some tension in the muscle so that you can start training the muscle to create tension. But eventually, you're going to have to give that strength some sort of context. And that's one of the big problems with rehab in general is they don't give you contextualized strength. It's all like, not all of it, but the majority of it is very focused on the injured joint. And then maybe a little more global, but it's very isolated because they're trying to build strength and mobility in that joint. But that's not contextualized fitness. That's not contextualized strength. And now you go out and you start running, jumping, doing jiu-jitsu, all these other things. And
if you don't own it, it's not going to carry over.
Yeah. That's why there's that gap between rehab and being back to actually being fit to play a sport and do things. So you have to give it some context. But it was just interesting, the little bits and pieces I was picking up, because it's just funny. Like isometrics are just not even really, like if they are, they're just this like kind of like sidebar to the main show. It's like, of what's going on, if they're even talked about at all. And it's like, man, if you're trying to rehab any sort of injury, like that should be like number 1 and 2 and 3. Maybe 4 and 5. But, I mean, you know what I mean? Like, you just got done rehabbing your knee completely differently than you did your original
first time around. Yeah, I didn't do fucking any isometrics first time around.
No. And so...
very little.
Yeah.
Like wall sits here or there.
And again, time will tell, but I mean, I got to imagine it's probably feeling like,
It's feeling pretty strong.
Feeling pretty strong and stable compared to like, last time, really, especially when you're getting yourself into extreme positions, like deep positions. Because that's the thing, man. People, they like to, okay, I got a good squat. And it's like, man, you want to get the fuck out of the bottom of that squat so bad. Like, you don't want to hang out down there because you don't really own that. And that's going to bite you in the ass when you start rolling and someone pushes your knees up or you squat or whatever it is. So, yeah. Dude, isometrics they're the way, man. They're the future. They're the past and the future.
They're the past, yeah.
Yeah, because I was telling you,
not necessarily new.
My little, got an ice cream truck.
I wonder what that noise is coming from.
I know, I was wondering too. It sounded weird. But,
it always sounds like a serial killer.
It does.
This thing's gonna creep me out.
Yeah. Oh, was it my like research into the history of strength training and like the little bit I could find on what the Greeks used to do for strength training was like one of the things was hold metal plates in front of them. And it's like, it's just fucking leverage based isometrics. And so anyways, it is the past and the future.
So maybe Nate will listen to this. I think he listens to our podcast.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, man, if you need any help, brother, let me know. I'm always here to help. Rob's mostly here to help.
Mostly.
When he has some fucks to give. Sometimes he's all out.
I'm out. I'm out of him today. That's how I'm surprised we've talked this long today.
Yeah.
I didn't know I had enough in me to fucking talk for an hour.
Hell yeah, man. We always got enough talk for an hour. So
It's just getting warmed up.
Maybe. I don't know how much else I have. Got my Euler. I gotta show you my Euler when we're done.
Yeah.
I got my Euler in. It's nice being able to set the time. It's cool, man. I go in my bedroom and it's already on.
Yep.
Because I just have it set, the sleep schedule set to 10 o'clock to turn on, and then it starts warming up. And
cooling down, you mean?
No, it warms up in the morning.
Oh, in the morning.
Yeah,
right,
I got it set to warm up in the morning. So, like I said,
does
6 o'clock.
Does that wake you up?
No, No, I don't have it enough. I don't have it enough to get hot, right? So I'll go from like 65 to 70 at like 6 o'clock in the morning, and then at 7 is when I get up.
Makes it better to get out of bed.
Yeah, like I said, there was just in the mornings I would wake up and it would just be not comfortable, and I'd be like, man, you know, if it was a little warmer, I'd be more comfortable. So. Because, you know, realistically, as the sun comes up, as it gets warmer, like that warming is going to naturally wake you up as well.
Yep.
So, yeah, man, I give it my definite endorsement. I have not woken up like hot and, you know, just like shit. Now I got to get out of bed and fucking go do something else and let the bed cool off and myself cool off and all that nonsense. So it's been great, man. I actually look forward to going to bed at night.
It's nice.
Yeah.
Dude, this time I love sleeping this time of year because I have my bedroom window almost wide open.
Yeah.
And it gets down to in the 50s at night, dude. I mean, it's a little chilly in the morning when I wake up, so you're not real excited about getting out of bed, but you just deal with it. Dude, it makes sleeping so good because you got the window open, you hear the crickets chirping. It's amazing.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yep.
Colorado's so nice this time. It's always nice, but this time of year it's so nice. Fall and spring are so nice.
Yeah.
Dude, I was down in Telluride this week. I think it must have been Thursday. Dude, it was like summertime down there. I was down in Ray and Telluride. It was like 70, 75 degrees. Fuck, couldn't believe it, dude. It's just beautiful, man.
And it's so nice right
now. So
nice.
And most of the tourists are gone. You know, so town's not quite as busy. Like, oh, dude, it's so nice.
That's funny.
I know it's short-lived, though. It's going to be snowing here soon.
Yeah.
Not necessarily here in Junction.
No. We got a few more. We got about another month, I think,
but up in the hills.
Of this. Yeah, this is prime time, man. I get so little work done this time of year.
It's so nice, dude.
It's so nice. I just want to be outside.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's funny. This is so funny. One of the guys that I got doing some work for me on Fiverr on one of my websites, we had a Zoom meeting, and it was funny he said this because it was like, we scheduled an appointment, but he's like, oh, you seem like you're really busy. And I'm like, yeah, I'm fucking busy doing, like, having fun, playing. Like, I have a very narrow window of time to actually work, So that's why it may seem like I'm busy, but I'm not, like, busy working. I got fucking riding bikes and hanging out with the kids and doing shit. But, yeah, this is like, I'll be sitting here trying to work, and I look outside in the middle of the day, and it's, it's nice because you get a little moisture. We get some rain moving through.
Rained last night?
Yeah, rain last night, so the dirt stays packed down, and it's like, this is like, living on the North Shore of Hawaii, and the fucking waves are rolling in, and it's like, dude, I gotta go surf.
Yep.
I gotta go get some while the getting's good. So, yeah, man, it's a great time of year around here for sure. So hopefully winter won't be too brutal.
Speaking of, it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
That's what they're predicting.
Yeah, I know.
But a completely different topic. How has the week of Mr. Mom been going?
Man, it's been going good. Yeah, Kelly's in Hawaii. She went surfing the first 3 days she was there. She said her ribs hurt like really bad because you're up on the board. You're arched up, basically kind of like a sphinx position, and so your ribs and diaphragm are like pressed into the board, and you don't think about that as being one of those, like, you got to condition that area of the body to do that. I know this isn't Mr. Mom talk, but I told you this, but just for the 200.
This is a good story.
She went and did a karate class. And this is how actually the discipline thing, like the karate discipline thing or the martial arts discipline thing we were talking about earlier, got brought up before we started the podcast. And so her brother, Brian, is really into, I don't know what it is, it's karate, but like the Okinawan old school Japanese karate. And he's been doing it for a long time. Like, the school's been there for a long time. The guy who's been coaching it, like I said, Kelly knew him from when she was a little girl. And so I guess Brian, he had done the karate, and I forget exactly, he was doing something with his church, like, some sort of mission thing or trip or something. And he was over in Africa, and something happened. Some sort of potential confrontation was going down, and his karate saved him, right? I don't know what that means. I got no clue. I don't
know the details
I've gotten
of the
the
story?
details. I don't know that he quite Chuck Norris'd everyone. You know,
He just got him to do a karate stance.
I think that, you
And
know,
scared
man, on
everybody
some
away.
level, like, just awareness
Yeah.
and confidence can
Huge.
get you out of a lot of shit, man.
and really, those should get you out of most shit.
Yes, yeah, and that's one of the things that martial arts teaches you, right? It's the old Karate Kid thing. Why do you learn to fight?
So you don't
have to fight.
Yep.
It's like your awareness and confidence will carry you through a lot of situations where people who smell fear and timidity would continue to progress a situation. So, again, I don't know. Maybe Chuck Norris the fuck out of everyone. Like, fucking got surrounded by 5 guys with knives and threw some fucking flying wheel kicks and, walked off. And
Let's imagine that's what happened.
yeah,
It's a
an
way cooler
explosion
story.
in the background.
Fuck yeah.
Right? That's, yeah.
Yeah.
So whatever it is, man, like,
He's bought in.
and cool. But you know what I mean? Whatever it was that did for him, it did it for him.
Yep. And
Right? And so, great. And so, but he's bought in. He's in. His kids do it. He's got 4 boys. They all do it. Like, they are just balls deep into it. And he's one of those guys where, like, if you were to have a conversation, it's probably like, well, you got to take me down first. It's like, okay, all right, man, listen, we so, but we'll, hey,
I'm speculating from that comment. You've had that conversation.
I've never talked to him about this
Oh,
stuff. No,
Okay.
Kiele has a little bit, although she won't, like, really, like, hardcore broach the subject because, again, like, what are you going to do? Right? Like, okay,
What's
fine.
the upside?
Let's fucking square up.
Right.
You see if you can punch me before I take you down. Right? Like this,
That's the only way to solve that.
The only way to solve it.
Sign a waiver, hit the mat, and let's go.
Exactly, right? What's the point?
There's no point.
There's no fucking point.
You might as well just not even have a conversation.
Exactly, man. And so, but anyway, so he's really into it. And he's really into the fact that she's into jiu-jitsu and that they do, like, a martial art.
That's cool.
Yeah. And so, but again, it's kind of funny because if you don't do jiu-jitsu, you don't understand the difference between jiu-jitsu and other martial arts.
Right.
It's its own thing, man. And so you're trying to, like, oh, I do karate, you do jiu-jitsu, we do martial arts. Like, kind of. Right? It's like, oh, what belt are you? It's like, oh, I'm a purple belt. I've been doing it for fucking 7 years, man. What are you? It's like, oh, I'm a black belt, doing it for 5.
Right.
Or whatever, It's like, anyways, so she went and did a class with them. And, she said she had a good time. It was fun. But she got thrown in. Either that there is no beginners class or they did not go to the beginners class.
But either way, she was not part of a beginner's class.
Either way, man, she just said they just started doing katas. Started barking out fucking the katas are in Japanese, the names are in Japanese, and they bark it out and you start hitting the katas and going.
Figure it out.
And she was saying, like, they're real strict with it. Like, the kids in line, if they even, like, move to scratch their face, it's 10 push-ups.
No scratching,
Yeah, it's like, you got to control yourself and, discipline and all this stuff. And she said that, her brother was coming over and like, oh, do this, just follow me. And she's like, she's flailing, man. She's never done a kata in her life, right? So, like, the thing is, like, I've done them. Like, I did, like, a little over a year of a martial art in high school where we did katas, and I'm sure you fucking busted out some katas.
Oh, I used to compete.
Yes.
I used to go to a karate tournament and you had forms.
Yep.
And you had sparring.
Yep.
So, I was a kata's motherfucker, man.
So, I'm sure, like, you and I probably would have flailed just a little less. Just because we had some sort of context and back.
She had zero context.
If you've never done a kata,
low block, high block.
Yes, like, there is a rhythm to it. Like, there is an intentionality to it. Like, it is its own thing.
Right.
And if you just have, it's like going in and like, oh, we're going to teach you to fucking, do this dance when you've never danced dance in your life before.
That's really what it is.
Yeah. It's like, no, if you had some context, it's a little easier. So, but she's just in there. Like, she said she's just flailing, just like, it's so hard.
I so wish there was video of this.
I know, me too. And of course, it's hilarious because my wife, man, it's like, she's really good at jiu-jitsu. Like, really good. And so she's sitting here and you just know everyone's like, oh my God, this purple belt in jiu-jitsu can't even do a kata or whatever. This is so simple. Even the kids can do it.
This is the white belt kata.
This is the white belt kata. What the hell?
That's what we teach the children.
But anyway, so she said, like, her mind's exploding And then the guy who she knows, the instructor, comes up and says that he wants her to teach some jiu-jitsu to the kids. And she's just like, what?
Couldn't shift gears.
No. Yeah, she's like, couldn't shift gears. And it's funny. I might have this conversation with her, before this comes out. If not, this is the conversation. But it was hilarious. I told you that, and I was like, and you're like, yeah, like, closed guard armbar.
Closed guard armbar.
Closed guard armbar. I'm like, I know, closed guard armbar. Like that, and I thought when she told me, like, he asked her to show her some jiu-jitsu stuff or something. I'm like, closed guard armbar, because she's actually like pretty good at coaching it. She's good at doing it. She's actually like really fucking good, and she can coach it. And so, but she's just her brain is
searching
something to do, and she's like, oh, there's this hardwood floor, and so she's like, well, I can't do takedowns, and so he pulls out some mats, and so she's like, oh, I'll show him how to shrimp, and
but you know what? Let's back up. Why would her brain even go think takedowns? It's not like she's a wrestling machine. She's good at jiu-jitsu. She's not good at wrestling. Like, and takedowns aren't her strong point. Why would she even think takedowns?
Well, I think she just thought like,
oh, we got to get it to the ground.
Yeah, I don't. You know what I mean? Like, she's looking around and we're all standing up.
I can see that.
Okay, but we're in a wrestling. But again, even then, it's like there's no mats on the ground, and so even doing like a closed guard armbar, you know what I mean? She may have just been like, dude, there's no mats, and I'm not real good at takedowns, and so I don't know what you want me to do. And so, then it was, so she showed him how to shrimp, and then she showed him how to do a cross collar choke. And mind you, everybody's in karate gis, but she showed him how to do a cross collar choke.
Which that was uncomfortable.
From closed guard. And so, which is good, showed him some stuff. But just in case, baby, anytime someone asks you to show something jiu-jitsu related in the future,
closed guard armbar.
Closed guard armbar. Just start with that.
That's the easiest way to go.
Yeah, and then go from there, because you're good at coaching that, and it's might have gotten her gi a little less dirty. That was what they said. She got her gi dirty shrimping down the mat, and yeah. It was a good story. Said she had a good time.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I thought it was cool. She got
I so wish I would have been there to witness all of that.
Yeah, her brother and her 4 nephews and the whole scene. They're in like a gymnasium, and it was good stuff. I wish I was there too. But for me, it's been good, man. It's been a fucking blur. Just trying to keep on top of everything, like getting Z's lunch packed. Z's lunch. I finally got it all figured out. You got to have his lunch, which is, his main dish, some sort of meat that we have a leftover that we give him. And then he's got a bag of chips, and he's got a fruit, and then he's got a milk, and then he's got a water, and then he gets a little candy for dessert. And then I got to remember his fork to eat his stuff with. And he gets a little napkin, so I take a paper towel and fold it up. And Kiele and I, it's a fun thing to do, but we'd like to put a little joke in there too. So we write a little joke on a note card and put some stickers on it and put it in there for him. And so, I didn't get everything in the lunchbox every day, but I got everything critical in there.
If you put all the days together,
I would say like a 4.75 out of 5, things. So it was.
Did he come home and tell you what you forgot each day?
No. Like one day I asked him, like, why didn't you eat, more of your lunch? And he's like, oh no, I didn't have time. And then I'm like going through it, and I'm like, you didn't have a fork? And he's like, oh yeah, that's why. I'm like, yeah, I forgot your fork. Forgot your napkin on day 1. Forgot the joke one day. But by the end, man, we got it all figured out. We got it all figured out. I got one more day on Monday, and then Keely comes back on Monday night. And then, dude, it's been just crazy because last weekend was my camp. So basically Friday night, I went and met some dudes out at 18 Road, and we went for a ride. And it has just been like...
blur since then?
Go since then, yeah. It was 2 days of camp. Monday morning, I dropped Keely off at the airport. And it's just been, kids and stuff. It's good. I mean, it's fun to have, like, a focus and a mission. But I can see that I'm definitely this isn't sustainable. I am using more energy, slightly more energy every day than I am replenishing. And if I had to do this for like 2 or 3 weeks, like, yeah, I would have to, it would be difficult.
Prepare a little more ahead of time.
Yeah. And I mean, the thing is, too, is I'm fucking going out riding my bike. I'm going on my mace run. I'm still doing stuff. And then this morning I had a clinic. So it's all good stuff. But
probably makes you have, not saying you didn't before, but probably makes you have a good, healthy respect for single parents. Out there trying to do the dance by themselves.
Dude, yeah.
That can't be easy.
It's not. It can't be easy, man. I don't know how.
That can't be easy.
Yeah. I mean, you'd say what you will. Raising kids was definitely meant to be a team effort.
Yep.
And yeah, doing it on your own is definitely much, much harder. So yeah, respect if that's the situation that you're in, but also try to avoid that fucking situation like the plague as well. Like, make smart decisions, either with your spouse or not fucking knocking up the wrong chick, or you do it once, like maybe not twice. Maybe not 5 times. You know what I mean? I don't know. We've talked about it before.
We've talked about that.
Dude, some people, it's like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
What is wrong with you?
Like, how many times you got to make this
same mistake? And it's a big mistake.
Yeah. It's.
Let's not go down that road.
Yeah.
I don't have the energy to go down that road.
So, yeah. I don't either.
I'm glad you're surviving. The kids all seem in one piece.
Yeah.
They seem healthy and normal today.
Yeah.
When I saw them, so.
We're going to do some Fruit Fall Festival with Z.
Nice.
At the
he's out there pre-gaming it right now with the caramel apple.
Yeah.
Getting ready for the Fall Fest.
Yep. Oh yeah, man. He is getting all fired up. So I was going to that's right. I was going to have story time. I was going to tell you a story. So
we'll wrap it with a story.
We'll wrap it up with a story.
Okay.
So I got a bunch of these fucking things, and one's my topper, my king one. You've heard my best Italy story.
Yep.
And I'll share that here one day.
Yeah, save that.
We're going to save that one.
You got to build up to that.
We'll build up to that one. But, yeah, man. So if people don't know, I had a former life as a model and ended up in Milan for a couple of months working, air quotes, as a model, which is basically just like partying at night and then running around trying to find addresses and going to casting calls during the day. And one of the things that they would do at night is, it's called imaging. It's still a thing, but you basically pay models to go hang out at your club. Mm-hmm. And, you got beautiful people hanging out there, and then other people will come too. That's the idea. And so, like, that's a way, like, I made more money imaging than I did modeling the short time that I was there. And so we had this dude who, and again, at the time I'm living in this model's apartment in, not the best part of Milan, with these 4 other guys. And me and this other dude were like really good friends. He was my roommate. We were good friends. And so him and I, we had this guy that he would get us jobs imaging. And so they had this thing coming up. It was called the Fiesta della Donna, the like Day of the Woman or whatever, like, part like Festival of the Woman. And it's like a Woman's Day thing. And so they're like, yeah, man, this is a big thing. We're gonna hire you guys to go and image at this club. You're gonna get paid like, more than usual. Usually it was like $100 a night. They're gonna give us like $150 or something. But it was they're hyping it all up, man. There's gonna be all these girls there. It's gonna be, girls, and it's the women's festival, and you guys are gonna be just like, partying, there with all these girls, right? And so, like, shit's, like, the day's coming up, and we keep asking the guy, like, all right, man, where are we going? Like, how's this working? And he keeps putting us off, and finally he's like, we're like a day or 2 out, and he's like, all right, I got something lined up for you guys. It's, like, out in this fucking town that's, like, an hour, like, fucking less than an hour away from the Swiss border or some shit like that, like, way out of fucking Milan, man. And it's like, wait a minute, what? Like, where the fuck are you taking us, man? Some mountain town? But it's like, whatever, man, whatever, all right, you know, he says it's legit. So we fucking go, me and my buddy are there, and it's like these two other dudes too. And, man, we show up to this place, and we're driving for like a couple hours, and we get there. And I remember on the way, we fucking scored earlier we had scored some fucking bunk ecstasy. Luckily it was bunk. I'm so glad it was bunk, man. Because we fucking, you know, took it. We're getting all excited. Like, dude, we're going to show up to this club. There's going to be all these chicks. We're going to be like these fucking, you know, gods in front of these chicks dancing. And they're just going to be like, yeah. And we show up, man. It is like this fucking, like, you know, little mountain town bar. And it's like 75% dudes.
Oh, God.
Yeah. And we walk in, and like, you know, everyone turns around and looks at us, and it's like, and you know, and there's like a DJ there, you know, because it's fucking Italy, so there's a DJ everywhere, and they're like, you know, oh, you know, blah blah blah. It's like, you know, the models here for the Fiesta de la Donna, and you just see like all the dudes turn around and look at us, and it's like, oh, dude, what is going on here, man? Because they wanted us to fucking go out and fucking go dance around in our underwear.
Are
right?
you serious?
Yeah, man.
They didn't tell you this ahead of time.
Not all of it, no. Well, you know, when they tell you, like, hey, we want you to, like, you know, not get naked, but it's like, hey, you're just going to fucking strip down to, like, your boxer shorts or whatever, and you're going to go out and dance in front of a bunch of girls, and they're all just going to be like, yeah, and you're going to, like, get paid money, and it's going to be awesome, right? Like,
okay,
you know, what 20-fucking-1-year-old dude doesn't want to do that, right?
So I probably would have done it for free.
Right, exactly.
Give me free beer for the night.
Yeah, exactly. I'm there, right? And
I might do that anyway.
Oh my God, yeah. But when you show up and we're like, dude, we're fucking hours. Oh, you know, it's not like we can just fuck this place, jump on a subway, right. We're bouncing, man. We need this dude to get us back home, and it's like, oh my God, we're fucking stuck here. And so we're in this back room, man, pounding beers, just trying to get the fucking like,
the
courage. And we fucking, yeah, so like, you know, we go out there. I think I still had like my shirt on, like unbuttoned and like, you know, fucking boxer shorts or whatever. It's like, oh my God. And you know, dude, as models, you're kind of used to like, you know, hey, put this on and fucking model. And it's just like, shit, right? It's part of the fucking deal, man. And yeah, so we had to go out, man, and we go out and we're like, you know, standing in front of the DJ, had some fucking little like space on the stage for us, and we're sitting there trying to dance. And dude, it's just this sea of dudes looking at us like what, like just
what is happening?
Contempt in their eyes, man. Like what the fuck is this bullshit? Because you know they're here with their chicks,
right?
And so it's like, and they brought these dudes. It's like, no, this is not what. If it was just a bunch of chicks here partying, and you brought these dudes in for these chicks, it makes sense. But there are dudes here with their chicks, and none of the chicks were like, you know, there weren't like all these girls who were. It was like you could tell, like these girls were with these dudes, and oh my God, dude, it was so hard. And like at one point, you know, we're fucking dancing, and like you gotta go like, you know, dance with the girls, and we're like. Which girls, man, are you fucking talking about? And so we saw this table where there was like, you know, 3 girls sitting by themselves, you know, not the most attractive ones in the joint. And it's like, all right, so, you know, we end up like going over there and like sitting in their table and like, you know, hey, you know, like trying to talk to them. And they're just like, what the fuck? It's so awkward. And so we end up like going back.
I'm uncomfortable just hearing this, dude. This is making me like kind of like I'm getting like a little. My palms are getting a little sweaty. This is bad. Oh my God.
So we end up back in the room. You know, our little back dressing room. I remember the dude comes back and he's like, "Hey, what's going on? Like, you guys are supposed to be out there dancing, man. You were out there for like 5 minutes," and we're like. Fuck you, man. Like, what do you want? We're dying out there, bro. And, you know, finally he convinces us to, like, go back out there. And he's like, fine, you know, just go out there, stand in front of the DJ, dance, you know, drink beer, you know, just try and have a good time. And I think, you know, we put a little bit more clothes on or something like that. I was like, but yeah, I ended up just, you know, that's what we did. We just stayed out there in front of the fucking DJ, kind of like, doing this fucking... You know,
late night at the Rocks.
Yeah, exactly, man. Like we were not feeling anything. Like just like smoking cigarettes and drinking beers and just like what is this shit, man? And we get back And the fucking dude never paid us for the fucking night.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, he stiffed us, man. We didn't get the money. It was always one of those, oh, I'll get you later, I'll get you later, I'll get you later. And it's like, dude, we never fucking got the money for that fucking bullshit. It's like, are you kidding me? So, anyways,
that's a
there
good
you
story.
go. That was my...
That's fucking good. That's good. That's really good. I don't think I've heard that one yet. If I had, I'm glad you've retold it. I've heard of quite a few of the modeling stories.
Yeah. No, that's an obscure one. It's one that doesn't always pop into my mind. That's why it popped into my mind earlier, and I was like, I'm gonna tell Rob.
What made you think about
story.
that? What?
I don't have any idea, dude. I have no idea. Just all of a sudden, there is an image etched indelibly in my mind of standing in front of this fucking DJ booth, looking out on this crowd. And going, what the fuck am I doing here? Like, what is going on?
I can only imagine. Like I said, you just telling me that and me trying to put myself there seriously made me uncomfortable, dude. I was sweating a little bit, just the awkwardness and how uncomfortable that would have been. Oh my god, dude. I can't even imagine.
You can see why I'm glad the ecstasy was bunk.
Yeah, you would have been having a good time, getting into it and shit.
Dude, I probably would have freaked I don't know.
Or who knows?
I don't know,
Who
man.
knows?
Yeah, maybe I would have made it worse. I thought I would have been it would have been horrible because I would have been oh, this is a bad scene. I don't know, maybe ecstasy's not like acid. Maybe you just fucking...
It's not like acid.
No.
It's
maybe you just have a good time every time.
You pretty much have a good time.
Yeah.
I've never heard of anybody having a bad ecstasy experience.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, then I'm glad I wasn't fucking feeling it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's probably good. It's probably good it wasn't working.
We were the right level, dude. It was god damn, yeah.
Oh my goodness.
So, anyways.
That's a great story.
On that note.
We'll end it right there.
We'll end it there.
All right.
So,
see ya.
See ya.
Thank you for listening to the Grumpy Guy BJJ Podcast.
Thank you all for listening. You can find us on Podbean, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and wherever else you listen to podcasts. Please make sure to subscribe and leave us a review. It really does help and will allow us to keep putting out episodes. If you have any questions, comments, or ideas, hit us up at grumpyguybjj@gmail.com. Also, go to our website, grumpyguybjj.com, and get signed up for podcast updates and get our free BJJ Improvement Starter Kit. That's it for now. So get on the mat, train hard, and talk to you all next week.
With a permanent friend, a hermit now, boom. Doggy stool, foggy, cool, got a froggy outside Molly dude. Melancholy Daisy Duke, hanging by the lace of their shoes. No trace of the tools, shaped into face, fuck the rules. Snooze, you lose. One eye always open, in times two, no clue. But soon a brief monsoon might give you a view to choose. Stay tuned, include, won't conclude. To the end is near, beware there's consequences for what you do. To me, demon, a devil of many levels. I keep on feeding for several of them rebels. Me, myself, and I.